This is a Forbidden Knowledge News premium episode. To get access to this full episode and many more, become a premium member. Visit forbiddenknowledge.news or just click the link in the description. All premium episodes are available on the movies section of our social media site. Welcome back to Forbidden Knowledge News. I'm your host, Chris Matthew. Tonight I want to welcome back to the show Susan Martinez. She is a writer, linguist, teacher, paranormal researcher, and recognized authority on the Owaspy Bible with a doctorate in anthropology from Columbia University. She is the author of Delusions in Science and Spirituality, Time of the Quickening, The Lost History of the Little People, The Mysterious Origins of Hybrid Man, and Field Guide to the Spirit World. Susan, welcome back. How are you tonight?
I'm doing fine, and it's so great to be back with you, Chris.
Yes, it is. I'm looking forward to this because last time we spoke, we're in more of the beginning stages of our current state of reality, and I believe, and we spoke about this, that we're in the most critical time of our modern history. We also spoke about your insights into the crossroads that we have to go to, and also into the information from the Owaspy Bible and its significance in our lifetime. But so much has happened since we talked. Things continue to change at a very rapid pace. We can see that a lot of agendas are at play. I'd like to know, what are your thoughts on the way that things have developed since we last spoke?
Gee, I can't remember when we spoke.
It was right whenever this coronavirus stuff started getting bad.
Yeah, it was probably late April or May sometime.
Yes.
What I'm doing, it's crazy. It's been crazy for everybody, and that's a word that a lot of people are using. Have you noticed?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The word
going
crazy?
Around a lot, definitely.
Yeah. We really have to learn to think straight now. We got to get all the BS out of the way, because it's just we're in a phase now where really the main focus is problem solving. I've been trying to say this to people. Let's face it, we're all in the same boat now. Check it out. We're all in the same boat. We've got a lot of problems. We've got to work out our life. We got to reinvent our life, whatever. And like you say, things are changing so much. And you know what, Chris, part of the prophecy, I what I know is because I study Owaspy, and that's how I learn what to look at for prophecy. I think right there I'll just slow down a little bit and let you get to your next question, because I'm sort of spurting everything out here.
Oh, no, that's quite all right, because, a lot has happened, and we do have a lot to break down, but maybe we could start with, how critical of a transition period you feel that this is right now, based on everything that's happened and your insights into the Owaspy Bible and your own research.
That's wonderful that you're using the word transition, because that's the word I'm using. I might have gotten it from you from our last talk. I take notes, on just words. That's what writers do. We zero in on words, and they just light up. Okay, so you're calling it a transition, and that's a good way to label it, because if I'm going to get anything across tonight or ever, it's going to be that this virus is just the beginning shot in the whole new paradigm. In other words, we have to accept. We have to accept that it's the warning shot, and there's more unraveling to come, and this is just going to go on and on until we straighten things out. Where I'm talking about a definite new paradigm right on the horizon, and a new paradigm, a new civilization. There's a lot of study I've done and others have done on these cycles, and clearly we are at the transition point now. So anyone who wants to go back to normal, or even the quote-unquote new normal, forget it. You can't even dream what this next new paradigm is like, but we can build it up on what we know is true and just.
Definitely. And now I want to talk about the two sides of this. And I read your email that you sent me a couple of days ago, and the one side that wants to push humanity towards a more technocracy and less, basically less human, more of a less loving and conscious type of entity. And then we have the side that wants to go back to learn about our conscious selves and who we are and what we are, where we came from, and go back to that so we could thrive as the humans that we were supposed to be. Talk about your feelings on that, and you know what's going on with that right now.
Well, Chris, you put it so well that I'm speechless. You summarized it very well and very accurately. We have two choices in front of us, love or hate, basically, if you want to boil it. And the pattern is part of prophecy. It has been known for thousands of years. It has, the name that I caught on to from the literature was the dividing of the way. And that was the polarization you were just talking about.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's in the Holy Bible, dividing the wheat from the chaff, the sheep from the goats, and guess what? It's in the OSB Bible as well. Exactly that image: the sheep, the goats, the wheat, and the chaff. So we know that it's a time of incredible sorting out, and there's light. There's more light on the planet. So everybody who's hiding, there's no more hiding place. That's why some people are so scared. We're going into the spiritual life. That's what it is. It's the spiritualization of mankind. It's what we've been talking about for a long time. The whole 20th century was dedicated to anticipating what this new era was going to be about.
Right, and you mentioned that there's no more hiding, and you can see that all over the place, from our corrupt leaders to the media to Hollywood. All these old secrets are coming to light, and everything that is dark is coming to light right now, and so many people are seeing this, but like you said, there's this polarization. The people that don't see it, or either don't want to see it, they want to be part of this new oncoming system. But yeah, you're right, there's everything that's hidden is coming to light right now.
Right. I have a very dear friend in the faithist world who who's been, her name is Joan, and she's gotten onto some science website that she gets all kinds of stories from, and she's been making some conference call presentations based on it, because what we're following up are the faithist prophecies that the Etherians will be coming to carry us into the new light, and the target date for that is 2050. So, like the last story she followed was these unknown objects heading toward Earth, and I don't know the rest of the details, but it's really interesting, and we can expect the Space Brothers to come among us. If not already happening.
It is so interesting that you just said that, because I don't know if you heard one of my recent episodes. I recently had my first contact experience where I had communication with what I believe is an angelic entity, possibly extraterrestrial, but definitely not of this earth. And I had psychic conversation, a psychic communication with this entity. And I was also taken through my consciousness on a ship. I could see entities on a ship, and this was all through meditation. It was the most profound experience I've ever had in my life, and it was preceded a couple of weeks before I saw my first UFO ever. So these things are definitely happening to people. And I was told by this entity that the reason he's coming to me now, not only am I ready for it and I wanted it, that it's a critical time and I have a critical job to do at this moment in time. And so many people are waking up to their calling, that what they have to do at this time. And you're right, that they will be making themselves known to people.
Yeah, wow. Oh, it's so good to talk. I'm so isolated here. I can't stand getting information on the computer, you know? I realize that part of being a faithist is rejecting a lot of the technology, but it's my next project, but it's on the back burner, the technocracy thing, but I'm so glad you used the word technocracy. I jotted that down, by the way. I have two possible titles for the technology book, and one of them is Techlash, and the other one is Diary of a Dinosaur.
Those very good titles. I like those.
How does the dinosaur one sound?
So that kind of rang with me a little bit more than the first one. I really like that one.
I really like it, and it's so. Oh, I mean, people are so ready for it. People have kept very private their difficulties and complaints with technology, but for me, it's just like ruining my life. I have to write about it.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many negative aspects to where technology is going. Now, don't get me wrong, there are beautiful things about technology. I mean, we're communicating through a form of modern technology now. There are great advancements in people's health and well-being, not as much as there should be, of course, because the whole medical industry is corrupt and pharmaceutical industry, but there have been some great things that have come out of technology, but the way that it is being pushed and utilized now in the direction that they want it to go is not the way that I feel we should be going.
Oh, yeah. That's the whole point. In fact, I had a similar conversation yesterday with John White, and when I told him he's my agent, and I told him my next project is anti-technology. I mean, the first thing he asked is, well, what about telephones? What about television? What about videos? Are you against? People don't understand. We're talking about how to moderate a thing. Have people forgotten that there's a question of quality and quantity? Do people not know where to draw the line anymore? Where technology has taken over. And the consciousness is very low. I can't find one person to talk with me about it.
Yes.
Everybody's so hooked in. Everybody is so hooked in. But not everybody. And I know there are a lot of people who feel the way I do, who cannot stand it. Hey, I got to shut up. I said I wasn't going to talk about technology tonight.
No, but you're right.
Let's put it on the back burner.
Yeah, definitely. But I just wanted to, kind of tell you that the consciousness thing that you just said, it's suppressing people's consciousness and, keeping us from utilizing our true abilities and reaching our potential as humans. But I do want to get your thoughts on something with the very obvious division that's being caused through the media and political system with this upcoming election. There's so many people that I believe have put their faith in these leaders that I believe are only puppets, and I think they're just tools.
That's a good way to put it.
I think they're tools for the system, but there's a lot of people that put their faith in this, and they're going to go out and vote in hopes that is going to change change what's going on. And I just wonder what you would tell these people.
Oh wow. I'm getting ready to talk about it because the chief thing about the transition into Cosmin, that's a new era, is the downfall of government.
Okay.
That
sounds good.
So that's the first. I'm writing about it now. It's in the second log entry. I sent you log number 1 for Cosmin. The email.
Yes.
Okay, I'm writing Cosmin. I'm writing log number 2 now. And I have to tackle government here because this is a prophecy. It's very plain. The government will be no more. The people are going to govern themselves. That's what we need to do. I mean, if we're grown-ups, and we are, that's what this is about. This is the maturity of mankind. It's just the most awesome change that has ever occurred.
Now, let's talk about some of those prophecies that come from the Oahspe Bible of the coming new age that we could look forward to.
Try to limit that down because it just it's so wide. What you just said. Do you have something in mind?
Well, maybe the most profound that we could talk about that come to your mind tonight.
What are you saying?
Some of the most profound prophecies.
Over again for me, and I promise I'll give an answer this time.
No, I'd just like to, get your thoughts on some of the most profound prophecies from the Oahspe Bible about our upcoming new age.
Oh, okay. So the first one I already stated was government. And you know what? Your question allows me to return to something you talked about before, but we didn't have time to follow up. You were saying something about bringing out the potential. I think that was the word you used.
Yes.
And okay, so the word I use is talent. And this to me is the big revelation, and it's all just in one single word. Instead of government, we should have self-government, and that's all based on our talents. And we're all totally different. And, everyone has something to offer, no matter how mundane. Everybody has talent. The new currency is talent. And in ancient Rome, that's what they called money, remember?
Yes,
such and
definitely.
so kind of amount of talents. It's a point of currency in the ancient world. But here's it in the modern world: talent. Each individual contributing what he's good at to the whole. And see, so everything is a whole from now on. Selfishness has got to go. It's all so spiritual.
Right, it is, because we are all connected, through our consciousness anyway. And with the rising of consciousness, man, you're spot on with the talent thing. If people could just realize their own talents and utilize them instead of being sucked into the system that they're in now, on their phones all day being brainwashed by the media, if they could focus on themselves and their true potential, then there would be no need for these other systems, and we could use our own talents and our own abilities to build a new world.
Absolutely. And that's going to grow in each coming generation now. Look at the young people. They could go any way. They could go very spiritual, and they will. There's going to be more and more people by the year 2050 was my target year. And it's the prophecy year. It's based on a whole system of numbers. It's very complex. You've got to be a genius to work it out. None of us have worked it out. We're just all, trying. But you need specialists, like for some of this cosmic stuff. We need astronomers, and we need mathematicians for the prophecy numbers. It's a whole number system. You read some of my earlier books, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I read The Lost History of the Little People.
Did you read Time of the Quickening?
No, I have not read that one yet.
That was my first one with in the traditions. Yeah, that's the one that breaks down how the prophecy numbers work.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, with the prophecies, you in your log, you mentioned some major calamities that we're probably going to experience. Could you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah. Look at our world. It's one disaster after the other. And it's just going to keep getting worse for another generation at least. But I have made 2050 a target year. I borrowed that year from the Elois and from the Oaspe Bible. They all work around the 200-year mark from the year one of Cosmin, which was 1848. Or 1849, big controversy, huge controversy among the Faithists, which of those 2 years it was, but that's beside the point. 200 years, we could round it out to 1850, which I do. It's not a crime to round it out, but the 200-year mark is a prophetic point in time, and that's 2050. So that's why we look at it. However, something interesting happened this year, and it's from the same lady who does the science research. Her name is Joan. She deals with a lot of trance work, and she archives the minutes and whatnot.
Right.
And the English Church of Faithists they were specializing in these trance addresses, and Joan catalogs that stuff and archives it. And at one point, she shared with me what had come through in one talk that she thought really, really hit the spot. And it's where they advanced they advanced from the year 2050 to 2020. And this was quite a number of years ago that they predicted this acceleration. Some of the technos call it, what's that word they love, exponential.
Right.
Okay, that's where things accelerate faster than you thought they would. And they make a big deal out of it, you know. They want to take over the world, you know. They want to feel like the most important thing that's happening, but it's not. We've been led astray. We have to come to our senses here. This is a no-nonsense thing. We're getting down to the basics of life and how to survive and how to help out and how to get help. And none of what's on offer works, so we got to invent it for ourselves, what works.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Now, going back to some of the turmoil that we could possibly be experiencing, do you think that we could possibly experience, a large loss of life that would have to happen before we could see any more peaceful progress or anything else that we're looking to see? Do you think that we're going to see a decrease in the population, unfortunately, because of either war or other maybe earth changes, something catastrophe that's possibly could happen based on the prophecies of the Owaspy Bible?
Well, honey, that's why COVID is the beginning, and we could call it the beginning of the end.